Everyone, and welcome back to Fleet Plays Rule the Waves 3 as France. Victory, my friends. Victory is ours. Last week, as you all know, we took on the Royal Navy on the high seas, and we beat them. We beat them. The Royal Navy is no longer the most powerful navy on the planet. That honor belongs to the Marine Nationale. Just working on a new cruiser. Just a new design of cruiser. For the Marine Nationale. First truly modern cruiser. That's fine. Oh, that gives me more room to play with. Can I get 3-inch belt armor? I can. That's fine. Can fit it with belt extended, no problems at all. Bada bing, bada boom. Yep, that's fine. Put our budget in the red. We'll just halt one of the destroyers for a minute. Yeah, these are our new destroyers that we desperately need. War losses being what they are. And everything else. We need new destroy. That float plane scout is worse than the float plane scout we currently operate. What? Why would I accept that into service? I'm not doing it. No, don't upset the finance minister. There we go. Once we finish the new, Yep, we'll lay down one of these new cruisers, since it's important to give the yards some work to do. The British government has had to reduce their funding. I am going to say that I think our next war... Yeah, let me have a look. Okay, the Italians are all alone, so I think it's the Italians that are going to be the next big problem here. You guys, you're the next generation of colonial cruiser. So we'll lay down 2 of you to replace our current iteration of colonial cruisers. Ah, of course you did, you jammy bastards. Typical. Of course you did. Typical. I know we need more destroyers. Believe me, I am working on it. The problem is the French Navy is modern and large, but the large part ain't modern and the modern part ain't large. Okay, we're going to shunt the older dreadnoughts into the Mediterranean, then we're going to put them in reserve. And we're only going to keep the most powerful modern units of the fleet active. Reserve, please, not mothball. Thank you. We've got our carriers, which did very well in the last war. But yeah, we desperately need new, more modern destroyers. We're going to mothball the... Yeah, return you guys to Northern Europe. You're not needed to guard the colonies. Your job is trade protection work in wartime. There we go. Okay, more destroyers coming into the fleet. This is good. We need to finish off these destroyers because they are desperately needed. I know we need more destroyers. Believe you me, I know we need more destroyers. And yes, I will absolutely accept another of those ships. I absolutely will. Because those are... Stop! Reduce... of course. No, all the money needs to be allocated to buying warships. Thank you. I'm trying to rebuild the cruiser force here. Desperately need more money. Right, so we'll mothball the Flanders. And we'll keep the Hoche class in reserve rather than mothballing them. And again, that means we can resume construction of 2 more destroyers. Nope, we're absolutely going to escalate that Balkans crisis because that is a nice cash injection for the Marine Nationale. Which means we can resume construction on most of the work we're doing. I'll keep the US on side for now. Just for now. There we go. So that's our new... Excellent, a new model of our new fighter. Very nice. And then we'll also continue building our colonial defense armor cruisers. We'll send a strong force to China to remind them who's in charge. Answer, it's us. No thank you. I'm not going to buy your submarines, Germany. I'm not doing it. There we go. No, we'll build railways because that means we stay ahead of the Germans when it comes to our economy. Yep, we want to remain ahead of the Germans when it comes to our economic strength so that we will always have a bigger navy than the Germans. Which is exactly what we want. The German navy is very top-heavy. Whereas the French Navy isn't top-heavy, and that's the thing that scares them, probably. The fact that we aren't a top-heavy fleet, whereas they are. Okay. Alright. Tell you what I can do. What I can give you is I'll drop the superimposed turret. We'll go for an 8-gun ship, but we'll drop the speed way down. So drop the tonnage way down. That shaves 200 off the price. And at that point, we can have... Oh. Really lacking in AA, these cruisers, but never mind, it's fine. There we go. And that then means we can build more of these. No, the Navy League is going to protest. I cannot afford to have you slash my budget, not when I've got a cruiser program on the go. Sure, let the fascists come to Italy. And let the Austrians buy those large diesels. I need... Yeah. Yeah, we're also gonna need some diminutives as well. So... Yeah, we're going to need some diminutives just to make this work. I mean, these ships are cheap as chips, but they've basically got to be. It's basically to make sure we get the cruisers we need, but also to be fair, what these can do is I can just release them to raid in wartime, and they'll be perfectly fine in that role. So what I'll do is, yeah, beat the army. Yes. So we'll lay down 2 of these Davu class cruisers, 2 additional of them. Oh, and 1 more, just because that means we're going to have 4 ships of these newer cruisers. He's a little bit overweight, but that's fine. And then we need 10 of these, which... it's expensive, but it's not outside of my ability to actually do. Nope, spend more on the Navy, please. I need to fund the cruiser program. And that funds the cruiser program, and that gives me more tonnage for light cruisers, which is nice. I mean, admittedly, yes, give me the hawkish government. Thank you very much. I don't care who it pisses off. Reliability and range for my new naval maritime patrol aircraft. And now we have the money to not only do the cruiser program, we can also... oh, dear. I'll get him off the hook. Which one did he actually... oh, Nantes! She's one of the big units of the home fleet. And he overstrained her engines. Damn it. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Take it to the court in The Hague. I don't have any modern cruisers yet. Alright, bring the fleet back into active service. Bring everything up to Northern Europe. The, Germans want to scrap. I'll let the charities do some relief for the poor. I'm fine with that. I'll let you reduce tension and give some social spending. Because it brings us back from war warning with the Germans, which is good. Can we expand our bases in northern France? Nope, not yet. That's fine. Okay. If the Russians want that, they can have it. New maritime patrol aircraft. Ooh, I like that one. It's tough. It's decently ranged. It's got good... it's got a decent bomb load. Nice. I'll do that. And yep, I'll get a new torp bomber. So range and reliability are what matters on these new torpedo bombers. I'll let him thrash an army colonel at golf. That makes sense to me. Okay, so... come on, bring in more of these ships, thank you. Yep. Set a gunboat only. I'm worried about raising tensions too much. That is significantly better than our current bomber. Yes, we will have that. Okay, so you go out to Foreign Station. And which of you is the oldest? You get scrapped. And then that will continue as we go forwards. I will accept that, actually. I will let tensions be lowered just slightly. I'll halt some of the, I'll halt some of the diminutive cruisers. Basically, these diminutives are just going to be built, live in mothballs, and then be released to raid when the war comes. Basically. And at that point, if they die, they die. If they kill stuff, they kill stuff. And that's about it. I'm not too fussed about whether they live or die. So we will actually invest in giving the Tags a modernization, upgrade their machinery, make them slightly quicker, give them better directors and increased elevation for their guns, and give them a light scattering of AA. And get rid of their torpedo tubes, just because, well, they can't really afford to keep them. And there we go. That extends the life of some of our older cruisers without too much in the way of cost. Whilst building a new cruiser may cost less, it also takes a lot longer to do. And war could be on the horizon, so I'm not too confident I want to do that. See, that's exactly why. Because war could very well be on the horizon, and I don't... Just back down for a minute. I don't need a war with Germany right now. The one off Lavisia can probably be rebuilt to do 31 knots. Buys me an extra 100 tons. Yeah, again, she was well protected, but she wasn't that quick. It's fine, though. Not a problem. Now we just strap on some light AA guns. And again, she's a useful part of the Navy again. And again, I'm rebuilding these because it's cheap. Well, sorry, it's not cheap, but what it is quick. And I might need quick right now. Quick may be exactly what the doctor ordered right now. Yeah, new float plane scouts, range and reliability, that's pretty much fair. Get these new cruisers out. That's fine. The last two Tag class ships. I know, guys. I know you want more work. I know. Believe me. I want to build more. I want to build new capital ships. I want to build carriers. But right now, we need the light forces in place. I will increase cooperation with Austria-Hungary, because if we can get into an alliance with them, we can tie down the Italians in the Mediterranean, which is kind of important. And then you've got the Catenats, which are... They are actually modern and well built, so they don't need rebuilding. You guys are old. Then you got Galilee, which is the first modern cruiser. Then the 3 Davos, which was slightly cheaper. And we need to think about actually building... Well, a few things new, actually. We need new destroyers, and we need them ideally to be fairly cheap. So I'm thinking... that's fine. Okay. Improved directors for the guns. Basically just stick to the same design again. Only carry 1 medium AA gun and 3 light AA as well. And then we start crash building those at a fairly rapid rate to bulk out our destroyer numbers. Okay, so Italy and Austria have gone to war. We'll extend it with the US. We'll keep extending the... I am going to go and blame the Italians because they're already at war with the Austrians. Okay, that's good. That buys me a lot of money that I need to build a lot of new destroyers, which I do need to do. That's always been our strength. In the actions that matter, the cruiser actions and the light skirmishing around the capital ships, we've always had the better navy when it comes to that sort of thing. Yeah, we are. I'm going to retire these boys back to the Mediterranean. They're not. Not all of you. Stay where you are, please. Okay, that's good. Better torpedo bombers, that's even better. Oh, I cancelled your moves. You shouldn't have moved. Never mind, that's fine. Get back up to Northern Europe. I swear that there were more of you than just that. That's fine. So the Voltaires were in... I wonder what our current generation of capital ship would be if we were to design one. No. I said I wanted to know what our current generation of capital ship would be if we design one. Okay, that's not terrible. In fact, that's not terrible at all. If we drop it down to twins, we can carry France's excellent 18-inch guns instead. Yeah, we can carry 18-inch guns on this ship at 26 knots, which is an entire... That's an entire kettle of fish ahead of what anyone else is doing. All or nothing armor scheme, inclined belt, not magazine box. 12-inch inclined belt, no belt extended, no deck extended. You should have at least the same armor on the turret as the belt. 5-inch on the thing, it needs to be 3.5-inch on the deck. Probably 11-inch on the belt. Actually, you've got 25 knots. That buys me a little bit more, because I can have slightly thicker turret faces. Turret roofs need to be very thicker, and turret faces need to be a lot thicker than the... It's fine. That's not terrible, but it's not great either. It doesn't have immunity zones against its own guns, but then again, no one else is carrying guns of even remotely this caliber. So that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, we'll have that. We'll absolutely have that. We will... No, we'll just say let them examine the ship. It's fine. Okay, 60 aircraft bases. That is pretty huge. So we'll get those built right away. In particular, what matters is the northern and southern bases. So yep. 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 Oh, we're absolutely going to expand the airbase on Malta. Absolutely. Malta is key. Oh, and of course the airbase on Sardinia as well. And the one on Corsica. There we go. Okay, so the next thing to do is to keep our yards busy. So we want more of our... no, we want more. We do want more destroyers, actually. That is what we want. Since our second line cruiser role has actually been taken up by the rebuilds of our older cruisers. And these newer ones are going into basically the reserves because, quite frankly, they're there basically to raid. They have no protection, very little in the way of firepower. Yeah, those older ships can now just completely go to the breakers. Honestly, yeah, the Tags are actually better than them. So yeah, they can go into mothballs. And the Tags can go into the reserves. And we're still not done with the reworking. Like, we've still got more of these things to bloody build. We'll join an international squadron. That's a safe thing to do. Our new fighter. More maneuverable. Better firepower. Better range. Yeah, that's fine. That's acceptable to me. We're waiting on our new capital ship as well. There we go. That's fine. That is not as good as our current maritime patrol aircraft, so I'm not going to actually do that. Okay, so we're looking at the war potentially breaking out with the Italians. The Italians are fighting the Austrians. They're pretty much slapping each other evenly. They've got some modern fast capital ships, but nothing even our older battle wagons and battle cruisers can't deal with. Yeah, the only slightly scary thing is Francesco Caracciolo. But even she and her Napoli-class sisters, they run up against Dunkirk or Nantes. That's not going to go well for them. Yeah, I do need to, yeah. So we need to, yes, we need to rebuild some of these ships. So we'll rebuild Nantes in particular, because she is one of the two 16-inch battle cruisers we have. So she desperately needs that rebuild. She's already got a lot of AA, but we're not gonna... Am I gonna regun her? I mean, the cost is already extortionate, so we may as well. And if we are gonna regun her, we'll change her turrets as well, because that means she's... You can tell she's been regunned. Honestly, that's fine. It's gonna take 12 months and use up all of my spare budget, but it's probably worth it to keep her just around. We can't afford to build a Saint Louis right now, but we will be able to in a minute. How? How are you telling me that we... Are you being serious right now? I designed a new battleship and now I can't build it. You've got to be shitting me. Okay then. Well, in that case then, we'll have to make do with rebuilds since we can't do new builds right now and I'm worried about the war kicking off. So... Aquitaine. We're going to give her oil-fired turbines, and we're going to just slightly up her speed to 30 knots. Give her improved directors and increased elevation. She's already got a secondary battery, so that's fine. And we'll just fit it with more AA guns, just to keep her relevant. I'm not upgrading her main guns because I don't want to break the bank. No, I'm not gonna go after Mozambique, simply down to the fact that I don't want to piss off anybody right now. dive bombers. That's pretty good. Yeah, Germany, Germany and Italy are pissed off, but that's not particularly surprising. I can't help but wonder. We've always had excellent 14-inch guns. Heck, we've always had excellent 16-inch guns. Could I build this battleship on a budget, maybe? Try and bring the costs down a bit. Can do, yeah. Okay. That shouldn't be a problem. And now she actually does have a single immunity zone against 16-inch shellfire. Okay. So we'll have two classes of battleship. We'll have the big one and the little one. I don't think I can push the Britannias too fast. Because, just because of what they are. What I can do is I can at least make them oil-fired, give them better directors, increased elevation for their guns. Actually give them single mount 4-inch. There we go. Perfect. We're not going to redo her guns. I just want to... I'm basically picking out the oddballs in the fleet to be rebuilt. Because reboilering them and regunning and doing all that only takes about a year to do. And that's the key thing. The Voltaires as well. The Voltaires are fairly new, but they need... Actually, what would the... Because if the whole form will let them... 24 knots is only 1 knot slower than the other... Yeah, I will actually accept the Voltaires being rebuilt to do 24 knots. There we go. Perfect. And upgrading them is going to cost an arm and a leg. But to keep these two powerful ships with 17-inch guns in, that's actually very well worth it. No, stop. Yes, actually, I will have some dive bombers because I do plan to build a new carrier. So having a new set of dive bombers is probably not a bad thing. I am going to tell our ally to back down just because I'm in the middle of a rebuilding cycle and I don't want to go to war right just now. Yeah, if the Austrians want to buy that, they absolutely can. Let's have a look. What is the difference in construction cost between a Massena and a Saint Louis? The Massena is 29,000 tons. Build cost is 3,500 a month. Saint Louis is 4,000. It's only 500 more. Yeah, it's honestly not worth it. No, I will accept the decrease in budget and the lowering of tension because it keeps social reforms under control. And we're already spending enough to build 4 of these new capital ships already. So yes, like I can already lay down one of the new Saint Louis class capital. I can't yet. In 2 months I'll be able to. But yeah. I think France needs a class of 4 keel-up carriers to form the core of a new French carrier force. I think that's something we absolutely need. I think that's something we should aspire to have. I don't think we need that much belt armor. And we definitely don't need that much protection for the turrets. They just need to be splinter-proof. What's the biggest carrier we can actually build? What is the biggest carrier we can build? Okay, a bit more. A bit more. Okay, wow, okay. How many... Okay. Okay, there we go, that's fine. And we can have unit machinery, because that'd be very good for protection. I can use the extra weight for actual armor. In particular, armoring the flight deck. And that's kind of nuts. And there we go. So we'll do that, and then we'll lay down another Saint Louis class capital ship. Oh no, we can't, because we don't have the... Okay, we don't have the displacement for it. Never mind. Okay, there we go. So we've got new... So we've finished our new destroyers. This is good. We've completed our new docks. I'm not going to let you cut my budget. Not right now. Not when I'm on the verge of laying down 2 brand new capital ships with 18-inch guns. I'm not going to let you do it. I'm going to avoid foreign entanglements for now. Ah, new dive bomber. Excellent. Okay, what have we got? Oh, you were Brigette. Absolutely just knocking it out of the park. Nearly as fast as the fastest. Much longer range than any of the others. Better firepower, better maneuverability, tougher. Oh god, Brigette just knocked that out of the park. Just absolutely walked away with that one. I'm going to send some of my oldest ships because that gives me more budget, which I can then funnel into building the Diximunda class of carriers, which we need. I will actually agree with that because that ties me into the Russians, which is very useful to me. Britannia has finished her rebuilding. It's fine. We're done. We're nearly done with the Voltaire rebuilds, which gives us 2 additional quasi-fast battleships. Okay, France and Italy have gone to war. Okay, reactivate the Mediterranean fleet. And shuffle the older battle cruisers. Shuffle the Aquitaine in because she's been rebuilt into the Mediterranean. Our carriers, where are they? Okay, so you 2 need to go to foreign station. You are the oldest. You need to be scrapped. Because that leaves us with 4 foreign station cruisers, as we should have. You 2 are just good enough to go on trade protection. You lot are going to be released to raid, as was always the intention. Most of you in Northern Europe, but some of you in the Mediterranean. The rest of my modern cruiser force. So... you guys are going to stay in Northern Europe while you rework back up, just so we've got something in Northern Europe to deter. The rest of you that are in fairly good condition are going to come with me into the Mediterranean. And the primary goal here, quite frankly, is to just completely and utterly smash the Italian Navy. Just obliterate it. Annihilate it. Because the Italians still don't have anything that can... All the 21 knot ships can stay... Yeah, the 21 knot ships can actually stay in Northern Europe, funnily enough. I'm probably going to need the fast battle cruisers, though. And I'm going to need these old girls, basically, to act as things against blockade. and to protect our trade, given they are in somewhat poor nick. And then again, same thing. So draw all of these out of mothballs and put them on trade protection, and that just should thoroughly remove the need for submarines to do things. Very good. Where are our carriers? They're all in Northern Europe. So we'll keep our smaller carriers in Northern Europe. I'm just going to check what the Italians have for carriers. They only have 2 carriers of about the same size as ours. But they are a lot bigger than ours and a lot more better than ours. But I am still going to shunt our Edgar Quinquets down into the Med because, well, they kind of are needed. That's fine. Obviously, the 2 Voltaires will be done, and they'll be going into the Mediterranean. And they are. Okay, Okay, so we've got all of our battle cruisers. One of our light carriers, even though she shouldn't be in the Mediterranean. Oh, it's Gaul in the Mediterranean. Well, she is the oldest carrier in French service, and she is an ex-Italian carrier. We do have a lot of aircraft in the region, so that is something, but we'll have to see how we go. So I have to hope that our air crews are pretty good. They may be, they may not be, I'm not sure. Okay. So, where are we? Where's that? So, our carriers are over here. That's actually fine. A medium cap should be okay. We've got our battle cruisers, and they are significantly more powerful than the Italian battle cruisers. We have our own recon. We have our own... Okay, Davua's... Wow. Davua's sighted an unknown ship. Wow, okay, this is good. So I'm gonna move you chaps upwind, so you're ready to do flight ops. But I am gonna save your air wings until enemy carriers are located. So that was, yeah, so that was sightings of a. I mean, if this is an Italian, Marseille's unreliable quad turrets giving it trouble again. It's not really surprising. Okay, have we had any sightings of enemy carriers yet? No eyes on hostile carriers as of yet. The airships are going out, though. I'm hoping they will have a bit of luck. Gunnery is proving pretty good. The reworking of Nantes's turrets does seem to have had some effect on her. She's not having nearly as many jams as she otherwise did. Okay, that's the, that's a Dante Alighieri. They're tough, but we have the 16-inch guns to go right through their armor. That's what I was waiting for. Carrier spotted. Right. Okay. Get me a nice, big naval strike. So you are a little bit over. So we're going to drop you down just a little. We're going to coordinate the strike. Your target is there. Your target is enemy carriers. Please launch the strike. Yes, send the strike coordinated per carrier. Basically, before this turns into a night action, I am going to try and inflict as much damage on the Italian Navy as I can. What? The Italians have battleships that can break 27 knots? The hell? Yeah, they do. They are limited to 26 knots, so the option to disengage at And we are hitting them with consistently better guns. The 16-inch guns that we do carry are very nasty weapons. They are gonna hurt when they hit. Okay. Yes, I do want to adjust. What is the absolute latest information we have? Okay. Latest information puts the carriers there on a northerly course. Okay. That is the absolute up-to-datest information that we have. No other information since then. And bear in mind, this isn't even me choosing to, no, your priority target is battleships, and I want you to come in and just cause a ruckus down here with the enemy battle line. Okay, Marseilla's after turret is just disabled. She's not lost her after turret. We've definitely achieved a lot more there than I expected we would. Okay, enemy aircraft have shown up, but I'm not sure where they are. Okay, that's that. They've decided to bomb our primary force rather than our carriers. That's good. The key here is actually engaging and defeating the enemy carriers, not the enemy... Yes, your final strike location will be there. Please, thank you. Okay, there are the Napolis. Right, okay. There are the Napolis. There are actually my primary targets. The Italian battle cruisers. They are the things I want to kill. That's going to throw off my gunnery solution. Because those Napoli-class ships, they're actually the threat. Jesus, they really are. Just, okay, Gaul has found something. That's good. Okay, that's good. I just have to hope that our aircraft can outrun the Dusk. Okay, so there we are. Now we need to turn north and head for the port of Bonifacio in Corsica. Because... Okay, something just got hit by a torpedo from one of Gaul's torpedo bombers. As for what it was, I'm not entirely sure. I just have to hope that our aircraft actually find in the dusk the enemy French carrier. Oh, Edgar Quinquet! Dodge and weave, girl! Dodge and weave! Very nice. Very good. Okay. Okay, a battle cruiser and some carriers have been found. That's something. Okay, I just have to hope those are the enemy carriers and not the okay, apparently they are the enemy carriers. Come on, some torpedo hits, please, some torpedo hits. Anything. That was a bit of a rough action. But our battle cruisers have shown that they can knock up with the best the Italians have and kick the shit out of it. However, they've also shown exactly why it's important that we actually have I had hoped for more peacetime building, if I'm honest, because I'm not really in the best place. I know we managed to land a hit on something with a torpedo, but I've no idea what. I wish I knew. Nighttime packages of airships are looking for the enemy. Not sure whether they'll find them or not. Still, I'm happy with that victory. Small victories are better than massive triumphs. Especially when you're outnumbered like that. I'm confident in the abilities of my ships. But I also know when discretion is definitely the better part of valor. And in this particular case, discretion absolutely was the better part of valor there. We fought a good fight. Withdraw. Yeah, we will... Wow. I didn't realise we had the buggers under blockade. I'm not sure how we do. Ah, excellent. But that's why we have to keep the massive battle line in the north pointed at the Germans. Although in theory... Okay, the Russians have joined against the Germans. That's good. So that means that the Russians will keep half the German fleet tied up in the Baltic. I have to husband what I have in Northern Europe very carefully. But, for now, we should be okay. Need to finish Voltaire. Nice. Okay, Voltaire's finished our reconstruction. No. Our modern maritime patrol aircraft is still pretty good. Okay. It's good. Okay, yeah, they are having to send out a lot of ships to patrol. But that's fine. Yeah, we... I'm not going to have those new battleships before this war is decided one way or the other. I'm not going to halt the carrier, but I am going to build a new class of war emergency heal-up carriers. Although in particular what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert some liners. Oh. Come on. Give me a liner. There we go. Yes, I do want to use oil fuel, actually. I want an oil-fueled French liner I can convert. There we go. That'll do. Because it'll cost an arm and a leg, but what it'll do... is we'll grab 2 converted liners, which we can quite easily bring in. And then convert them into carriers very quickly. That'll give us carriers very quickly indeed. More carriers, which we need. Okay, auto resolve. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care whether our raiders live or die. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But while we are also doing that, heal up light aircraft carriers are also on my agenda of things that I want. Basically, only for the war. It's the only reason I want them. A cruiser action. Please let it be my new light cruisers, because I would love it if... Okay, the enemy appears unable to challenge our forces. German Navy declines the battle. German... Are they completely tied down with the Russians? They may actually be. They may actually be completely tied down with the Russians. At that point, then, I'm going to move my older ships into Northern Europe and my new 24-knot ships into the Mediterranean, where they might actually stand a chance against the... Same thing, yeah, I'm going to take the... Yeah, the older tags still perfectly capable of holding down the fort in Northern Europe. Most of the modern things that need to be in the Mediterranean. That's fine. That's fine. We are going to shunt every carrier we have into the Med, because we do need that extra capability. A cruiser battle in the Eastern Mediterranean. They decline. Raid on coastal installations. They decline. Enemy raid on coastal installations. We do not decline. I'm not going to let... I am not going to be drawn into those battles, because I've just realised I haven't actually boosted our intelligence network on the enemy. But if it's going to let us use our modern cruisers, I'm happy to do that, because not only do we have an advantage in cruisers over the Italian Navy, significantly. Okay, hello, hello, hello. What are you? Well, whatever you are, I'm going to kill you. Oh, you're a set of Italian light cruisers. Oh, you're adorable. Aren't you just the cutest little last generation light cruisers I ever did see? Okay, the one at the front is actually modern, but the other ones behind it are not. French gunnery, when it comes to cruiser actions, has always been good in this campaign, and I don't see any reason why that would change now. Especially when we look at some of our older cruisers, and even our older cruisers can still bring 6 guns to bear on the broadside, even as older ships, which makes them still very effective ships, and they've been rebuilt with the best fire control equipment we have. So they've got experienced crews. Oh. Okay, that's a massive disappointment, which basically means unless I run to a French port, that action is pretty much going to result in the death of all the French cruisers present. Because now we're down to 2-on-1, so we're going to order disengagement, flotilla attack, and we're going to head for the port of Marseille at 30 knots. Oh well, the Italians got lucky there. And on that disappointment, as per usual, you know I've got to be in a certain mood to do Rule the Waves 3. Sometimes you get long weeks of streams, sometimes you get short. This is one of those weeks where that has... I need to go away for a week, and I need to come back at this. Like, basically, if you go into a war where you're not ready, you're usually better off, and you start, you're usually better off taking a week and coming back when you are ready. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to love you and leave you with an hour on the clock. And we're going to come back next week. And we're gonna... take this war by the horns and just throttle it. Basically. It's not a great loss, but I am clearly not in my right mindset for the sort of actions I need to be fighting. I know full well when I'm fighting at my best and when I'm not, and right now I'm not. And I've got to be firing on all cylinders when I'm doing this. I've got to be absolutely knocking 7 bells out of anybody who isn't the French. And I ain't doing that right now. There we go. That is very unfortunate, and that is where we're going to leave it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Please do join me tomorrow for Fleet's Empire at War Wednesdays. Take care, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye!